All right. So here's the thing. So a long time ago, uh, back when I was middle school, high school, a certain anime came out to Fox Kids. I believe it's called Digimon. Yeah. Sorry. Anywho, Digimon came out back when I was in eighth grade, I believe. Going to high school, and yeah, it was a great series. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Okay, I thought it was great that all the kids had their own Digimon partners, and unlike Pokemon, if they digivolved or evolved or whatever you want to call it, technically it's Digivolution. If they digivolved, they would eventually go back to just being their rookie forms, and they were like your best friend, basically. They were like, you know, the uh well, they were kind of like the equivalent to pets, but on a bigger scale. They were like your best friends. Anyways, season two of Digimon, also known as Zero Two in Japan, because the original Digimon was known as Digimon Adventure in Japan. Season two came out, and you had the character of Davis, and I saw him wear a vest, and I thought, dude, it like something clicked in me. I wanted a vest. Okay, if I was gonna get any kind of clothing uh, for Christmas, like I always did for my grandparents, I wanted a vest. Okay, if I got any clothing, I wanted to try to get a vest. Never did until a particular Christmas, and it was Christmas of 2000. Okay, uh, December. Uh, yeah, Christmas of the year 2000 was a very it was a very tough year. It was a very tough Christmas for me. That was the year 2000 was the year that my father died, and like, well, let me. I guess it's just better for me to just tell you the story. So, it was December 19th. We had just gotten released on uh winter break. Me and my best friend had were planning for a good long period of time to walk all the way from our houses. Like, he lived like I lived in an apartment complex. He lived in one of the houses across the street from that complex apartment complex. And so we both at one point we had already decided to walk all the way to Toys R Us, and then I think we walked from Toys R Us, and it was a long distance. This is two middle school kids at the time. Um, no, we were high school. Can't remember. I think we were high school kids at the time. That we tried to go to Toys R Us. Went to Toys R Us, and if you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, the area that we lived in was close to Myers Park High School, and yeah, so where Harris Teeter is, where the old Blockbuster Video is, getting to Toys R Us, which was on like I believe like South, either Tyvola Road or South Trine Street. I can't remember exactly, but getting to Toys R Us was a long distance. So that Christmas, that night, December 19th, we were planning on going all the way to Media Play, uh, which was a store back in the '90s, early 2000s. That was like, it was the store to go to. Best Buy, be damned. You go to Media Play. If you want video games, you go to Media Play. If you want books, you go to Media Play. You had all the selection, music, all that stuff at Media Play. So we went to media. We walked down. We decided that was the day that we were gonna walk to Media Play. For some odd reason, we thought Media Play was the furthest we could go, but we walked. Okay, this is around the time that the PlayStation 2 was about to come. PlayStation 2 had came out, so it was early, and we thought that PlayStation 2 was like the greatest. Xbox was the greatest. Oh God, well, let's just say my best friend Andy at the time, my best friend Andy, he was huge into Halo. Okay, like he basically got me to play Halo all the way to the end with him at one point. uh, Andy. Anywho, so me and Andy decided to walk our, you know, our high school asses all the way up to media play. And it started snowing, so we were cold, we were chilly. We walked that long distance away. Okay, we made it happen. Like we just talked to each other. We were like, you know, and we weren't like the most athletic guys. I can tell you that for a fact. But we made the effort because at the end of the day we were nerds. Okay, so we walk all the way up there, and we get there, and we're there for like 20, like 10 to 20 minutes or so. It was a cold day. It was snowing. Okay, we get there. I'm automatically going straight to the PlayStation 2. I'm ready for it. I want it so bad. I'm thinking about, hey, when I get home, I'm gonna talk to my dad and I'm gonna like see if I can, you know, convince him to buy a PlayStation 2 for us. Um, because at the end of the day, me and my dad, like my dad, he was just as much of a nerd as I was. Like he's the reason why I'm a nerd. I mean, the reason why I like Star Trek, my dad, me and him want he had episodes of the original series. We watched the Next Generation like religiously, DS9 religiously. You know, he taught me everything about comic books. We even had like a little. He even used his little laptop to make a document file that had all the different like teams of Marvel and DC and who was in those teams. Okay, he just wrote the names. He didn't do anything. We made that whole slight little database for ourselves. Uh, like, I went to go see the first X-Men movie with him. You know, similar. That's just it. We were nerds. So, if anything, if I had talked to if my dad, if we were able to finally get it, he would have bought it, and I'm pretty sure of it. And we would have been playing it, and he would have got upset with me because of the fact that I would get a fight. Let's say we got a fighting game. Let's see, we got Street Fighter. He get upset with me thinking I cheated because I figured out most of the character's moves. Okay, I figured out how to use that character best against another character. Maybe I did kind of spam some fireballs from Ryu a lot. Maybe that's why he called it cheating. No, I finally figured out like one move all on my own, like a super move, all on my own without any issues, and I think that's the reason why. Anywho, back to the story. So we're there for like a few minutes. Okay, we just got there. We walked around. We were on the PlayStation 2, I believe, and then all of a sudden, my grandfather and um, my uncle Anthony had came up behind us, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I'm thinking I'm in trouble because at the time it was B at the apartment. Me, my sister, my cousin Audrey were there, and my sister's like what 10.5 months younger than me. She's about the same. She's close to my age. She's an eighth grader. She can babysit basically. I figured, okay, there's no like. I even told her that that me and Andy were going on our little adventure and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, did something happen between her and Audrey, and they call it grandpa or grandpa came over or something. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm in trouble because they're at the house. You know, and in those times, it wasn't nearly as bad as it is these days. But at the same time, we're like 13 to 12, I believe, at that time. Hold on, let me do the math. Uh, no, I'm 14. No, yeah. Hold on, 2000. I'm six. 1986. After May, yeah, I'm 14. She's 13. Yeah, she should be able to handle herself. Anyways, and plus, my sister can dead arm me. Just saying, she could dead arm me back then too. Either way, so I'm thinking I'm in trouble. So my grandpa goes, "Yeah, CJ, we gotta go." I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm in trouble." Um, I at least asked him if he can, give Andy a ride home. And then, of course, he gave him a ride home. So we drop Andy off at his house and we get back to the apartment. And we go to the apartment, and my entire, like, everybody on my dad's side of the family is at the house. Well, most of everybody at the immediate family. My grandma, my grandpa, my aunt, both my aunts, Aunt Lisa, Aunt Janice, um, heck, I think even my little cousin, my youngest cousin, Trinae, was there, and of course Uncle Anthony. And Grandpa tells me to go sit down next to Audrey and my sister Jessica and Trinae, and I see it on my Aunt Lisa's face that something's wrong. My grandma's face, something's wrong. My great grandma, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. And then my grandpa, breaks it down to us. I have some bad news. And he's breaking down as he says it. And he's like, I have some bad news. Um, y- y- your father died today. Um, yeah, of course, I'm just like my sister Audrey, my sister Jessica, my cousin Audrey, my cousin Trinae. They're breaking down. Of course, my aunt Lisa is finally the tears are coming from everybody, and I'm just in complete and utter shock. And tears are coming out of my eyes, but I can't really think right now. I'm thinking this is some really screwed up joke. Either way, of course, we couldn't stay in our house. Like we couldn't stay at the house. Me and my sister. I mean, we did have a roommate. My dad was letting a friend of his stay at the house. He was sleeping on the couch at the time, I believe. Um, so that she could have the bed. And I tell my grandpa, okay, if we're gonna go to your house, can we stop by Andy's house? I need to tell him. I need to talk to somebody. So I get to Andy's house, and I, ring the doorbell, and I ask for Andy, even though I just saw him, and I tell him the news, and he can see that I'm like in a state of shock at this point, and I'm like, I'm going to my grandma's house. I'll talk to you later. I'll see. I'll tell you what's going on. So we get to my grandma's house, and we end up getting a hold of our mom. My mom, you know, she's first first chance she gets, she's driving straight to the house. She's driving straight to grandma's house. She was there in 4 hours, less than almost less than I felt like, and it was just this really really bad day. So yeah, of course the funeral happened. Um, Eventually the funeral happened in that week. Um, his coworker, the man who technically took my father away from us, you could he came by the house. You know he brought over I think like a Nintendo 64. I can't remember. I didn't really care, but at first I was upset with this guy because I heard about it was a it was his coworker who killed him, and his coworker, it was an accident. It was a complete accident, honestly. And when the guy who did it came over to my grandma's house and I saw his face, I knew it was a complete and total accident. Like I couldn't, like at first I was all ready to just snap on this guy, and I saw the look on his face when he saw us, and I could tell he was broken up inside, and because my dad is. I got something. I got if there's one thing I got from my dad, it was this. It was the fact that I tend to make good friends with a lot of people, with everybody I meet, even my coworkers most of the time. And so, you know, my dad did the exact same thing, and him and this guy were like good friends. You could tell, and you could tell he just lost. He He had that feeling. He had that look on his face, like he had just took the life of a good friend. And if he somehow ends up watching this video, if he's still alive today, if you end up watching this video, sir, hey, look, I'm the son of Stephen Vernell Pinkston, and I just want to say, dude, even that day, I forgave you. So I hope you're living a good life, regardless. I really do. And I'm not saying that in like a shitty fashion or anything like that. I'm saying that like honestly, like I hope you're having a good life. And if you ended up having kids, I hope they are thriving and all that stuff. But sir, I like on that day when I saw you, when I met you, when I got to see you, I immediately forgave you because I knew it was an accident from your part perspective. Anywho, so let's get back to the reason why this video's there. Why I wear a vest, okay? Why I wear a vest out in public. Why I love wearing a vest. Why I do it. So up until that point, for Christmas, I kept asking my dad. I asked my dad for a lot of things. As always, you're a kid. You can't. I can't. I don't have a job at this point. So, of course, I want something. I have to ask him for all the things I get. So, I had asked him for. I was trying to decide between two games, really. Final Fantasy 9 and Chrono Cross. The year before, he got me Final Fantasy 8. We played that together a little bit. Okay. Even that year before, he had even like let us open up our gifts a little early, like literally 3 weeks early. Like just as December started, we got to open up our gifts to see what we got because he couldn't contain it anymore. He couldn't hold back. Wanted to see what the look of our faces were when we realized he was able to get what we wanted. Um, so the year before, I got Final Fantasy 8. The and my sister got he gave me Final Fantasy 8 and the strategy guide. And I was on punishment at the time because I had gotten into a fight at school. So technically, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, but he pulled out that PlayStation and let me play it for an hour. Loved it. He got my sister a stereo and her first CD. I think it was like either Backstreet Boys. I think it was In Sync because at the time I was more into Backstreet Boys than she was, and she was more into In Sync, and I thought In Sync was bullcrap because they didn't come first in my eyes. Backstreet Boys came out first to me. And yes, I know it sounds like I'm a big pop guy, but hey, at the time, knowing about the way I was looking at it was, hey, look, these girls like pop. Okay, they like pop music. Backstreet Boys said something, said in their songs, said things that I was feeling towards some of the girls. Let me use back. I listened to Backstreet Boys so I can talk to girls at the time. That's how I looked at it. Let's just be honest. I love I love rock. I love a little bit of rap too. Old school rap, not the new stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, but like old school rap actually had like a storytelling element to it, and I like it. I mean, It took me years later to finally start appreciating it, but I like old school rap better. Just gonna say it. Rock, old school rock, alternative rock. Back in the days in Linkin Park, loved it. Old school pop, love it. But some of these songs these days all of them sound the exact same. Like you could tell the difference between Backstreet Boys and NSYNC sometimes. Yeah, you could even tell. What was that one group? Plus One, I believe. I think it was Plus One. The ones that sing, "I want you to know you belong in my life." I forget all the words. Sorry. Back to the story. So, I asked my dad for Chrono Cross and Final Fantasy 9. Right. So my mom gets my mom gets there. She immediately buys me Final Fantasy 9. Immediately after, she gets Chrono Cross. Like she got me both games in like no time, and I was just like, okay. And Christmas comes. I don't remember if we Christmas game because she got me Final Fantasy 9, and then she got me Chrono Cross. No, she got me Chrono Cross, and then no, Final Fantasy 9 came first. So I was playing Final Fantasy 9 through all the issues, so I can keep my mind off of what was going on. Keep my mind from like really thinking about the weight of everything. And then Chrono Cross came for Christmas. Anyways, so one of the first things but that Christmas day we were opening our presents. I got my presents for Grandma and Grandpa, and of course, Grandma got me clothes. And well, the first Christmas gift I opened, what she even said, I think my grandma even said this. She was like, "Okay, this is something that your dad told me you want it really bad," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I open it, and a blue. It's a blue and gray vest. Okay, like it's one of those like you can flip it uh over. You can wear it, you know, one way and then flip it over and put it on the other way. So it was gray and blue. Hold on. It was blue and gray. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I think I still have it. Yep, still have it. As you can see, blue vest. Well, it's completely sun damaged because I wore it like constantly throughout. You see, blue vest, completely and utterly sun damaged. I wore it like religiously for like years. For most of my high school career, basically. And as you can see, oops, sorry, there we go. Can you hear me? There we go. And as you can see, flips around. Bop, bop. Same thing. See what I mean? And this is the first vest I ever have. I even have different names for my vest. Okay, this is technically V1. Okay, and I never wore it this way. Look, I always thought it was weird. I wear it that way every once in a while, but most of the time it was old school blue. Okay, now I wore this constantly, and the fact that it still fits is beautiful. Anyways, well, okay, it doesn't really still fit. You can only just go. I'm a big boy now, but still, uh, I'll wear it for the rest of the thing. Anyways, this is the first vest I opened up. This first Christmas gift. So it became like a thing. Like I would just wear a vest every single day. Uh, there'd be a few times where I, go without vest. If I'm at work, no vest. Especially at the fast food places I worked at and all that stuff. I didn't wear a vest, but at the end of the day, I had my vest on me. I had a vest on me at all times. Okay, like I have multiple, and I'll go through a whole. I'll make a whole nother video for that. But yeah, that's the reason why I wear vests. First Christmas gift I ever opened up, after my dad's death, and it was a Christmas gift that was like the one time I asked him for clothing. Okay, for Christmas, and he got it for me. Other things that he got was my mom. Like I said, my mom ended up getting me some video games. She got me Final Fantasy 9, which again another one I loved. Okay, tore that shit open. Okay, the only thing I didn't get was Excalibur 2. Okay, uh, and I didn't beat Ozma. Still haven't beaten Ozma. I'll get to it. Don't worry. But I got Final Fantasy 9 from my mom, and then I think she also got me Chrono Cross, which is another game. I'll that's a whole nother story. It's another dad tell. So I think I'm gonna make uh a little side thing about dad stories. I guess that'd be great. Anywho, my mom ended up getting me Chrono Cross and Final Fantasy 9. Turns out my dad ended up getting me Chrono Cross. So, um, we returned one of the copies. I think we had to return my dad's copy of Chrono Cross because I'd already opened up the other one. But when I really think about it, I never thought of the Chrono Cross that my mom bought me as my mom's version of Chrono Cross. I always still consider it dad's Chrono Cross. It's just let's just flip these. But with that one, we returned it to Target since we didn't have a receipt for it. We returned it. No, we did have a receipt for it. Yeah, but I could only get store credit, so we switched it for Legend of Dragoon. So when it comes down to it, I will always play Chrono Cross. In fact, I should buy that. You know what? I'm gonna buy that on PlayStation so I can play it again. Um, but Chrono Cross, there are three games that I will never. You can say all the bad things you want about it, but I will never, ever, ever pay attention to your bad reviews, bad anything, just because of their emotional connection to me. Final Fantasy 8, last game I actually played, the last actual game I played with my dad. Okay, last actual video game I ever played with my dad, and that whole Christmas story I will tell you about in full detail next time, about in another video. Uh, Chrono Cross. Again, I'll go more into the topic of that one. Let's just say Blockbuster Video at the time. They didn't understand the idea of two discs. Anyways, um, and last but not least, Legend of Dragoon. Even though anytime I try to play Legend of Dragoon, I go to sleep. It bores me. That world map, dot dot dot. No, I love it, but no. The storyline, great, but I can never. I will. I have to force myself to replay that game. Okay, it's a chore, but I love it. It's a great. It's a good game. It's a chore. Okay. Anyways, again, this video got 30 minutes. I almost had tears. Um, and this is a video I wasn't expecting to do, so I'm gonna. Probably, you're probably seeing this on Saturday, wondering, did he say something about talking about like Case Closed or Stranger Things season 4? No, it's just this. No, I felt like I need to tell this story because most people wonder why I wear a vest and wonder like it's come up a lot in the past week because I will wear a vest in the summer heat. Okay, literally, people have witnessed this. I was at the Braves game wearing a vest with two shirts on, three if you count the tank top I had underneath, and I didn't sweat a single bit. I'm at I'm at work. Okay, I have a work vest. Okay, it has the logo on it and everything. Because my boss is my boss. My bosses at my job are amazing, and I'm thankful for them, and I bust my ass for them any day. Um, but they brought this up today. They're like, I don't know how you could possibly wear a vest in this hot weather in that sun. Okay, you're gonna be out in the sun a lot today. You know, there's a possibility you're gonna be out in the sun, and you're sitting there wearing the vest, and you have no problem wearing that vest. And I'm like, regulates my body temperature. I've come up with so many excuses over the years, but the body temperature one is always the one I always go to because, in all honesty, when I'm wearing the vest, I never sweat. The second I take it off, start sweating. If I put it back on, even more sweat. But if I leave it on from start to finish, I don't sweat. I sweat underneath it, but I don't sweat. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't hit me. The heat doesn't affect me too much. I will wear that vest until I get home, and then I will take everything off, be in my boxes. Like right now, I want to be in my boxes so badly, but I'm trying to be a little bit more user friendly, so to speak. Anyways, this video has gotten to 32 minutes. I need to stop and I need to get to sleep. It's like I said, I'm recording this on Thursday night, so uh, well, I'm gonna leave that out because technically they kept asking me my other my. I'm not even gonna go into that. Anyways, you guys have a great day. And, well, you know what I mean. Great day, great night, great week, great month, great year. You guys have that, okay? Uh, and seriously, let's yeah, 2022 may have started off shitty, but hey, let's just remember one particular fact. Johnny Depp won. Okay, I may not be a hardcore Johnny Depp fan, but I am all for the justice for Johnny uh situation. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like him in a whole bunch of things. I did like that 21 Jump Street when it came out. I'm talking about the original TV show. I did love Scissorhands and a few other things he did. But, at the end of the day, justice for Johnny. But 2022 did start off shitty. It's getting better, and we're gonna make it better. Okay, let's go into 2023 feeling like we can take on the world because look, one great thing happened after a whole bunch of losses at the beginning of the year. So 35 minutes long. Good lord. All right. You guys have a great day. Bye.